Unloved, Huronia's Forgotten Children is a multi-layered investigation of a shameful period for our social history. It is also a personal journey by filmmaker Barri Cohen, who joins us now alongside survivor Marie Slark. Thank you so much for both of you joining us today. I think we should start off by maybe talking a little bit about the film. Give us a kind of brief synopsis.
Well, for a multi-layered film, that's tricky.
I know.
Yeah, it's about a place, and that was they called it a hospital school, and later it was called Huronia Regional Centre in the early 70s. And like many places in the Western world, in the developed world, um, it housed and harmed children who were labeled or were living with intellectual disability, and many of them aged out there. And in 2013, there was a class action lawsuit settlement brought by Marie Slark and her co-litigant Patricia Seth for grave harms against the children while they were there. I had two half brothers who lived and died there, and I never knew them. They were from my dad's first marriage, and I wanted to understand how they lived and died. And so I did that kind of investigation, but really the only way to understand was to hear from the testimony of survivors themselves what it was like. And emphasize as well, there were places like this, and it was in Aurelia, Ontario, but there were places like this across Canada and North America and in Europe as well.
And I think I watched the film yesterday, and it is incredibly powerful. It is very emotional. It uses some very emotional language, and I think it really educated me on the fact that this was actually happening, and that survivors were traveling across the country, across North America, really telling their story. Now, what did it mean to you personally creating this movie?
Well, I mean, I guess what drove me was a tremendous sense of sorry, dog, tremendous sense of I guess, anger. And I really wanted, when I first heard about it, I wanted other people to know, because I was pretty certain that people in Ontario, certainly, let alone Canada, probably didn't have any idea what was
No.
going on. And I also wanted it to be a call to action for us to think about even contemporary forms of warehousing of people who we consider different or labeled, unproductive. I mean, look what we're doing with seniors and people who are critically ill in long-term care. And that's very much in the news now for very good reasons. I think we just do a really bad job of caring for people who, need support and allyship and humanity. They need dignity, and we all do. And so I really wanted to raise awareness about that.
Now, Marie, you were sent to Huronia at the age of 7, correct? How long were you there for?
I was there for 9 years, and but anyway, I didn't get discharged until I didn't get discharged till 4 years later. So they had me there for 13 years, but I was only in the institution for 9 years.
Wow, what was it like for you being in that space?
Well, it was very controlling. They treated us like animals. We weren't allowed to think for ourselves. We had to do what we were told, or else we were in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, a lot of the film that I did get to see yesterday focused on what I really loved about the film is that going back and for the survivors to kind of remember what they went through in the rooms that they were in and the procedures that took place. And as heartbreaking as it is, I think it is such an important message to get out to our viewers and to get out to people like myself that might be a little bit naive and understanding that places like this did exist. And I think that's so important that you're getting this message across.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Now, where can viewers watch the film?
Right. Well, we had a premiere on last Sunday night on CBC on the main network, and now it's on CBC Gem, which is their streaming platform, and it's free, and it's on demand, so people can just click on when they go to CBC Gem, they can just type in Unloved, Huronia's Forgotten Children, and it will come up. and for free. I guess there are commercials. I have no control over that, but if you're a subscriber, I think there's a non-commercial option to view it, and it'll be up there for a long time.
All right. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for joining us today. And hopefully lots of people will check out the film now that we know where to find it. Thanks again.
Thank you for having us.